So I'm just going to move on slightly now and just move forward a little into Skills Lab, because I understand that's almost like the next step. We've got the training, which is one side of it, and then we've got Skills Lab, which is about designing your own training. Is that right, Chantal?
That's absolutely right, Susie, yes. So Skills Store is, as you said, what Sophia's been talking about, and then the second part of that project is Skills Lab, which is a really, really unique opportunity for people within the childcare sector to help us write, develop and design training courses for childcare practitioners.
Wow, and so it sounds like a very bespoke offering. Is it? How does that work? If they want, do they decide what they want to learn with you, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens, it's a 3-step process. So step 1 is mandatory. So if you sign up for step 1, you complete step 1, and step 1 is where you complete a survey with your staff team or your childminding team or as you as an individual, and you just tell us all about your training, what you've had so far, what's worked, what hasn't worked, and we have a little kind of group discussion about that. We then move on to step 2, and step 2 is where we support you in completing a training needs analysis of your team, and that's going to be a really simple online tool that we can do, and we can analyse where your staff team feel they would best benefit from training. And then that moves to stage 3, where you join us for focus groups and discussions. These take place either online, face to face, depending on kind of the needs of you at the time, and that's where you give us input into how you'd like the course designed, what you'd like to have in the course, how you'd like it to run, whether you want it to be online, face-to-face, blended. So yeah, it's your chance to have a say in what you'd like to happen in childcare.
And it sounds like a real partnership between TLC and the employer, rather than us saying, well, this is the course, you've got to come on it.
Yeah.
If there's a need, I'm guessing that they can identify the need, and you guys can help them.
It's the unique opportunity for employers to actually lead in what they'd like the training to be. So it's them having their say. They can put ideas in, they're part of the discussions, and then the training is developed around those specific needs in the childcare industry.
We've both worked as assessors and trainers in a nursery chain, and we've managed to get several settings to our Ofsted Outstanding by really identifying the need of the whole team and saying, actually, you know, our SEM practice, or in one, it was a real love of outdoors, and actually identifying we need to have a really consolidated approach to this where we're all learning together and at different levels, because you might have a new trainee who's going to learn something but not at the same level as the senior team or someone who's been doing it for 20 years. So it's about sort of us identifying with the employer, what's your need, where do you really want to excel in, and what can we provide you that's going to enable your staff team to do that?
Yeah, and employers really feeding into that and giving us an insight into what they actually what they want and what will work for them in regards to the delivery. You know, should it be online, should it be evenings, you know, it's listening to them and knowing what they want so that we can provide that bespoke offer for them.
I was going to ask that question, because obviously when we talked about what time of day we should have this conversation, we felt it should be after work, essentially. So for both the Skills Lab and the Skills Store, when is this training happening? I guess you're mindful of time of day.
Yeah. Again, that's going to be input from the employers and when the best time is to suit them and their businesses.
Yeah, with Skills Store, obviously the individual that signs up has their little login. They can go in and do the online bits whenever they want to do it, whenever's convenient.
Absolutely.
And then that practical element, they can do in their working week, because it's all about doing it with their children. And all of it is, you know, appropriate to do with the children in their care, and it's just going to be about providing the kind of new, interesting opportunities from the training that they've, you know, from the learning that they've been doing, putting it into practice.
So it's very flexible then.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also, you know, we have the funding for the Skills Store, but there's the voucher funding for taking part in the Skills Lab project.